I do think this is a very, very unusual trilogy. The first movie, Unbreakable, was done in 2000 and was a completely distinct stylistic approach. And then we did Split. It had its own style that wasn't quite related to Unbreakable, but I thought that could be our great asset, that this trilogy is three separate feelings that are talking about the same subject. So I wanted Glass to be able to stand on its own and not be derivative of either movie.
I think it's a valid culmination of a story. Elijah is still very calculating. He's still very watchful. He's still strong in his conviction.
I remember watching Unbreakable in a movie theater in New York City somewhere, and now here I am, and there's Sam Jackson, and there's Bruce Willis in a really great, scary, psychological thriller of a movie. And so to be part of all that is really a dream come true.
Split didn't even feel like a superhero movie at all. It was a scary movie that only really revealed itself at the end when David Dunn actually shows up. That took it way beyond just linking it to Unbreakable.
When Split came out, the Unbreakable music starts to play at the end. And I know that Knight had been talking about doing a sequel for a long time, but 5 years go by, 10 years go by, 15 years go by, you think that there's no expectations. But it's crazy being back.
I've never done a sequel or anything like that before, and so it's so interesting carrying the baggage that you already know because you've seen a chunk of somebody's life.
Kevin? It's you.
That's what makes this movie really special.
It was really interesting writing the project because I already knew the voices of these characters, so I could just literally put a character in a situation and just start writing him.
But what was great when I got the script was that it was taking the superhero, supervillain archetype and putting them in a very, very different kind of movie. And I think that's exciting.
As you're watching it, you're trying to figure out what's going to happen and what's really true and what is the story about and how it's going to land. And I didn't care if I had 2 lines in the movie and no real part. And for all I knew when I said yes, that's what it was going to be.
Back in the day when I did Unbreakable, people weren't making comic book movies, so it seemed silly to even mention comic books in the marketing. That's really where we were at that time. And then Split, because of the nature of the reveal at the end, we couldn't tell anybody what it really was, that we were setting up this character in the Unbreakable world, that we were setting up essentially a comic book villain. So I could never tell audiences. They couldn't be framed before they saw the movie. But with Glass, we can. We can say that's exactly what we're grappling with. What if comic books were based on reality?